The stupidest match of the century, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about something that, honestly, should have never happened. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. The stupidest thing in boxing history. No, scratch that. Probably the stupidest thing of the century. Now Jake Paul, he's a YouTube star turned boxer, capitalizing on social media hype, throwing punches in the ring, and, let's be real, cash grabs. And then there's Mike Tyson, the legend, the man who once terrified the boxing world with his raw power and speed. But here's the issue, these two are from two completely different worlds and their paths have never crossed in the ring. You've got Jake, who's 26, trying to make a name for himself in a sport he barely knows. He's a social media star turned boxer with a lot to prove. And you've got Mike, who is 58. That's right, 58. A legend in the sport, with a career that spans decades. A man who has been out of the professional game for nearly 20 years, yet his name still commands respect and awe. His last major fight? Back in 2005. That's almost 2 decades ago, but his legacy remains untarnished. Mike Tyson, in his prime, was one of the most dangerous fighters ever. The raw intensity, the knockout power, insane. But that was 20 years ago, and now? Tyson's more about personal redemption and exhibition fights, not putting himself through the grind of professional boxing again. He's a shadow of his former self, no matter how much we love the guy. So why on earth would anyone think it's a good idea to put Jake Paul, who's barely been in the sport for a few years, against Mike Tyson, a man who's long past his prime and hasn't fought a real professional bout in decades? It's almost laughable when you think about it. Tyson, a legend in the boxing world, known for his ferocity and skill, now being pitted against a YouTuber turned boxer. It's a circus. It's entertainment for the sake of entertainment, not sport. The whole spectacle is designed to draw in viewers, to create buzz and to make money. It's not about the purity of the sport anymore. Let's be real here. There's no contest. Tyson is at least 30 years older, but his experience and legacy in the ring are unmatched. And Paul doesn't have the experience or skill to actually pose a threat to someone like him, even with all his training and bravado. Even if Tyson's not at his peak, his sheer presence and history in the sport make this matchup seem absurd. It's a clash of eras, but not in a way that honors the sport. And yet, here we are, watching a fight that feels less like an athletic contest and more like a bad reality show. Something designed to sell tickets, attract views and line pockets, not to actually test the limits of boxing. In the end, this wasn't a fight. It was a joke, a spectacle that, unfortunately, has become all too common in the world of sports entertainment. Boxing deserves better than this. Fans deserve better than this. The sport, with its rich history and tradition, deserves to be treated with respect. Mike Tyson deserves better than this. So let's just admit it, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, it's a mismatch, a farce, and an insult to the legacy of true champions. Probably the stupidest thing of the century, and trust me, that's saying a lot. We've seen some pretty ridiculous things, but this takes the cake. Boxing, you can do better. You have the potential to inspire, to challenge, and to bring out the best in athletes. Let's not settle for mediocrity. End.